Well, it's 5:55 again, and this is the video for June 7th, recording on June 6th. Um, and the title is, To Whom Do the Collateral Accounts Belong? Have you noticed? There's a lot of confusion about the collateral accounts. For those who do not know, these accounts are trusts set up in past centuries. One of them is the Germain Trust, but there are many others. Lots of people want to claim them, and have done so, but they were set up for the people. We, the people, are the executors and beneficiaries of these accounts, and it is up to the trustees, often governments, to release these funds when called upon by the people to do so. Of course, our governments are corporations that have no accountability in their own eyes, or responsibility to do what is right and required by law. This is at the core of the inequality and injustice in our world. There is no lack. That is a fear tactic of the criminal elite who want to dominate the world and continue stealing the wealth of the people. I, among many, am standing up and saying as loudly as I can, no more. Release our value back to us so that we can change the world. Indeed, and it is up to us to change the world, and it is up to us to shine the light so brightly that those that continue to try to hide in darkness will scurry like cockroaches when the lights come on. If you've never seen that happen, I hope you never live in a house where it happens, but I've been in homes, not my own, where I've seen that occur, and it's not very pretty. And I think right now, because the lights are coming on, many of the cockroaches or palmetto bugs are being scattered all over the place, and there's a lot of disarray and a lot of confusion everywhere. Swiss Indo is one of the trusts, by the way, and the person who is a trustee, not the owner, but the trustee, according to what we've been told, is Mr. Sino, Mr. Sugi. He's the trustee, and it's his responsibility to release these funds. Now, I believe if he actually had the authority to do so, he would do it. He would release it to at least start getting some of the projects off the ground that are going to make the difference, because many people, as I've said over and over and over again, have excellent plans to bring technologies out that have been suppressed, both for healing and energy and many other areas of communication and of spiritual awakening. And yes, there's technologies of spiritual awakening, believe it or not. There's training in frequencies and vibrations and understanding magnetics and electricity, being able to manipulate the electromagnetic grid for good is possible. But we've had people in charge of our world, so to speak, who legally, by law, are trustees. Governments are set up to be trustees on behalf of the people. If they were to do their jobs, they would be releasing the funds now because the people are ready to wake up. Many are already waking up in various stages, and those that are waking up have the leadership abilities to bring people into higher dimensions, higher realities, and help change the world. We want to make a world that works for everybody. And in that world, there is equality. Nobody is above the law. Nobody can escape accountability and responsibility. Every individual is fully accountable and fully responsible for him and herself. Now, these trusts that were set up by Saint Germain and others are humongous trusts. I mean, the wealth is so vast, it's mind-boggling. It's enough to make every person on the planet, every boy, every girl, every individual human with 7.5 billion people, or however many people there are on the planet right now, it's enough to make every single one of us a millionaire. In other words, there's no lack. There's no lack. Now, of course, if we gave everybody $1 million, everything would grind to a halt because we're not consciously ready yet to see that we have a responsibility to contribute to the whole. That's just the way it is. We are individuals, and our individuality is important. The individuation process is important. But we also have to recognize that the collective is important. And we're moving as fast as we can based on shifting the collective consciousness. That's what I'm trying to do when I talk to the Red Dragon and I speak to the Cabal like I did a couple of days ago before Aristo's video. By the way, I really am starting to get this, Aristo. 5 is life force energy. And the reason we have to go back to 555 to overcome 666 is because 666 is not the mark of the beast. It's the mark of the avatar, which is the people becoming free, people becoming sovereign in their own right and claiming their natural rights, claiming their inheritance, if you will, and moving into the unlimitedness of the reality of our world, which is unlimited. It's not limited. The limits that we have been placed up under are false evidence. They are not reality. Reality is we live in an absolutely abundant universe if we could only see it. Source is unlimited. Source is potentialities that are yet to be opened and discovered, a present that has to be peeled back and the wrapping taken off so that we can see. But this wealth is humongous, and it's a bridge. Ultimately, we won't need money. I believe that will be true, but we're not there yet, and I've said that over and over and over again, which is why I was involved in Swiss Indo. Not because they were offering money, not because they were offering titles and power. We all have power if we will use it responsibly, but we abuse our power because we don't understand the responsibilities that come with rights. And that's part of the awakening that's going on and has to go on. But this wealth belongs to us, the people. It doesn't belong to the governments. It doesn't belong to the banks. It doesn't belong to the cabal or to any group of people that want to use it to start wars and want to use it to poison the human race and reduce the world's population down to 500 million people, which is on the Florida Guidestones, which I've said before. That's the plan of the elite establishment. That's the plan of the New World Order people, which is nothing but an old world order people that relies on extortion and racketeering and harvesting the value of the people for the benefit of a handful of people who want to live like gods. But they don't understand that to live like God, you have to embrace the life force. You have to allow the interconnectedness of the spiritual with the physical. You have to allow the integration of the opposites and come into harmony. And that's what healing is all about. Wholeness. It's about becoming whole. And 555 is going back and reclaiming our life force energy, moving our love out of little boxes where it doesn't fit, so that we can love freely and exercise and let that love start flowing into our lives and out into the world around us and start healing each other instead of owning each other and looking at each other as property. You're mine, you're mine. No, you're not mine. We're all each other's. We all belong to God or to Creator. We all belong to Source. I don't care what you call it. It's not about freaking religion. That's been part of the problem. But these collateral accounts, when they are released, will open up funding for all of the projects that have been suppressed, all of the technologies that have been pushed under the carpet by the cabal that want to maintain the oil industry, want to maintain a pharmaceutical and so-called healthcare industry, which is anything but healthcare. It's sickness. Giving band-aids to sicknesses, basically. It doesn't heal. It's not about healing, because healing is natural. It's not artificial. It's natural. It's the food we eat. But the food we eat, they're even contaminating that. The water we drink, they're contaminating that. Everything is becoming contaminated by the corporate system, which is holding back the release of these collateral accounts, these humongous funds that make us all wealthy beyond our imagination. But we have to consciously catch up. Now, many of us have been working on ourselves for a long time. I mean, I'm reaching new plateaus every day. Every day I seem to be breaking new ground and having new insights. Sometimes I seem to take a couple of steps back and then another step forward, because it's hard to break out of the old thinking. It's hard to reprogram my mind and my belief systems. It's hard to do that, but I'm really working hard. And some of you don't like the steps that I'm taking because it's so out of the ordinary, out of what we've been used to. It's so out of the comfort zone of many people and out of the belief systems. You think it's wrong to talk like I've been talking, so it turns a lot of you off. And many of you have told me so. Many of you don't like the fact that I'm operating with no shirt on a lot of the time anymore. I'm doing my videos with no shirt. Well, I have an air conditioner, but it's not running right now. I have a fan on there. It's 85 degrees in here. Well, it was 85 earlier. Now it's 86. See? It's warm and fairly humid. I had the air conditioner running last night. I turned it off this morning. It's going to be up to 90 degrees here today. In this room, if I were not to run the air conditioner, it would be 95 or 96 degrees. This is the hottest part of the house. This is the south end of the house that I'm on, and it's the hottest end of the house. The other part of the house stays actually 5 or 6 degrees cooler than it does over here, especially in the afternoons. So that's why I don't wear a shirt. But in any case, these collateral accounts are our money, folks. This is our value. And what I want to impress upon you is, as you awaken and as you think not in terms of consumption and materialism. We've got to get out of this materialistic mindset of buy, and we want the latest toys and the latest gadgets and everything else. There's nothing inherently wrong with any of that, except when that's the only thing we're looking at, we're out of balance. And when we're out of balance, we do things that hurt other people, that do harm to ourselves and to others. And nobody has done more harm to themselves than the elite. They have been, in order to maintain their psychopathy, they've had to beat the conscience out of their own children, for God's sake, and sexually and emotionally and spiritually and physically abuse their own kids. That's why they don't have any natural compassion. That's why they don't have empathy. That's why they don't have the common sense to realize that when they're hurting others, they're hurting themselves, because there's been a disconnect. That has to be healed. But there's been a disconnect in each one of us. We're not ready for the abundance until we start healing. And then we start seeing the responsibilities that are required to live in a society that works and works for everyone. We start realizing that each person has to be accountable. When you allow people to escape accountability, you create enormous problems and enormous injustice and enormous inequality, and that's just not the way the world was designed. Love expands and embraces. Fear contracts and pushes away. Separates. But separation is a lie. We've got to get back to the interconnectedness, which is 666, folks. We become avatars when we get there, but we have to reclaim the 555, the life force energy. And that's how 555 overcomes 666 and ultimately leads us to 888, which is Christ consciousness, or the awareness that God is in all of us, each one of us, which is why we say namaste, which is why we say in Lakesh, you are another me. The light that I see in me is in you also, and we are one. It's a spiritual awareness, a spiritual awakening. And we are going through that, and we need to continue to heal ourselves and to help each other heal by loving each other. I'm willing to love in ways that I've never been willing to love before. I'm willing to break out of my boundaries. I'm willing to explore, unlike I've never been willing to do before. And no, you're not necessarily going to get a play-by-play of everything that happens in my life, because I have to protect privacy. Some things are supposed to be private. It's not about keeping secrets. It's about maintaining respect and privacy. It's about maintaining that. And we each have a right to have a private life, to have a life that we share our intimate moments with others, that we share touch, we share our sensuality and our sexuality and our most vulnerable communication. Some of that, I mean, I'm much more open than most people, and I'm doing it on purpose because you need to see that that we each need to open up, whether we're part of the elite, the 1%, or whether we're part of the 99%. We need to wake up and see that everything is interconnected. And then 666 doesn't remain the mark of a beast. It's a beast when the interconnectedness is separated, which actually is impossible, except in our experience, because we're allowed to experience, we have free will to experience whatever we choose. And we choose according to how we perceive or want to perceive the world. Like, as I've said, the world will arrange itself to meet your expectation of what reality is. And it doesn't do this from the conscious mind, which lies to us all too often. It does it from the subconscious mind and even from the heart, which is much more powerful. And when we can combine our head with our heart and our thinking with our feeling, and we can come into balance and come into harmony and synergy with these energies, we can transform anything. We can transform all of the nuclear crap and all of the pollution and all of the things that are happening. We can transmute and transform it because we have that power. We have that power. And the collateral accounts are simply a mechanism to wake us up once they're released, to realize that whatever we want, there's unlimited wealth to back us up, unlimited possibilities to back us up. No more struggling to survive, but now opening up to thrive. We go from a survival mode to a thriving mode. And that's what the whole thing is about. That's what Foster Gamble, the Thrive movement, is all about. And many other movements are about the expansion of our consciousness, the awakening of ourselves to unlimited love, or love without limits. We're moving into that. We need to continue to move into that. And remember, you are wealthy. And I didn't even get into the, I forgot what they're even called, but there's a whole, the funds that the government hides, all the governments hide, forgot the word. Anyway, that'll be another talk, and I've talked about it before anyway, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, we're wealthy, folks. Start thinking in terms of all of your needs being met and abundantly provided for, so that all of your dreams and visions can be brought into manifestation. Thank you for listening. Namaste and Lakesh. Have a good day. Bye-bye.